Hi everyone, Lark here. I want to show you my indoor plants. It was down to 25 last night, so we had a heavy freeze out there. It was white, but the sun is shining and I'm going to be going outside cleaning up. But right now I wanted to show you some of my succulents and other house plants. This jade, a friend gave to me, a dear friend, 38 years ago in a 4-inch pot. It's been through a lot. I used to summer it outside, and it always seemed to double in size if I summered it outside. But then it got too big, and I found that taking the big pot out, the summers ate at the plastic, and I had to transplant it more often because the pot would get brittle. So now I just keep it in these windows. But when I took it outside, it would bloom for me when I brought it in. But now it stays here, and I happen to prune it quite a bit. I like the sculptural look of the stems, so I have a lot of them showing. I prune it heavily once a year. It's had many babies given away. It also has been eaten by the deer. There was almost not a leaf on it, but of course it came back. So it's a good remembrance of my friend, and it's very old. I have other succulents, and I don't know all the names. This one here is a new planting, and it's in a pot that I found at a thrift shop, kind of cool, and metal. I put in the string of pearls and some type of aloe, and I like it a lot, kind of a blue-green, and it probably has doubled in size. I had it outside this summer. I also have a ponytail palm in it. This one here, I have another one in my bedroom. It's getting babies off the bulb. This here, I'm looking for a stainless steel colander so I can plant it in a colander. I think it's called the Panda Bear succulent. Soft. So I still have to pot that one up. And then another aloe, and this one here I take off of a lot because I use it for a moisturizer. This is a south-facing window here, and an agave, and I keep it back farther so my granddaughters don't try to touch it because it has those thorns on the end. And then here is, I think it's called a donkey tail sedum, but I put it in a colander. This is the colander. Whoops, I just knocked some petals off, but they'll get babies. I'll put them on the dirt. And then a colander, and then this is a waste paper basket, and then a tray. And I like the shiny look to it. And I shouldn't have, it'll cascade over it, and I hope that it's easier to move since it can hang down farther. There's my flapjack, which I get a lot of babies off of. And I brought in my creeping thyme. It's hard to see with the sun shining. I'm hoping that it does okay enough to give me some for cooking. And a rosemary. Here in Zone 5 in Wisconsin, it would die outside, so I have to bring it in. And my basil. And it'll be okay for a while. And then I let it go dormant, and I plant it outside again, and it comes back. And lemon verbena for my tea, and it's starting to look sad because it's so root bound, but I'll just barely keep it alive and then repot it in spring. This is my fire sticks pencil cactus, and it's losing its red now that it's in the house. But it's pretty outside. It's a nice specimen plant. I don't know the names of these. This is in my strawberry pot. And this one here I like because it has burgundy on the edges of the leaves. petals fell off and I'm trying to root some. This has like horizontal stripes, and this one here has more of a scalloped edge and a little burgundy on it. And this isn't a big colander. Then I put all my colanders on my fire pit outside. You can see the variegation on here a little better. This one here, I don't know the name, but it was getting much too huge, so I cut it right down to the ground. And that's in a colander too. Then I have some fig trees. And these here, this one here is probably about 12 foot right now. And I've been giving them worm tea, and they seem to like it better. They're growing better, I should say. They don't get as brown tips. This one here is probably about 10 foot and kind of braiding on it. I brought in some of my blue pots that I had on the deck, and this has the coralline in it, and this one's probably about 3 years old now. And I winter them in the house, and the stuff that grows in the bottom, like the creeping jenny and the sweet potato vine, stay barely alive there because it doesn't have a whole lot of light. But it does have a little light, enough to keep it alive. And in this room I have more coralline. And then this burgundy vine type flower I use a lot in pots outside. And it's in the irisine family, I-R-E-S-I-N-E. And it's a wonderful filler. Wonderful. And even a marigold in there. I have yucca that is gorgeous. At least I think it's gorgeous because it has, oh, this one here is 38 years old too. And I have chopped the heck out of it and given away a lot of the chop. Now this is 9 feet. Dusting them is my hardest thing. I put socks on my hands and then run it over. This also is an irisine, the bloodleaf plant, and I prune it severely when it comes inside and then just barely keep it alive and take cuttings off of it. But it makes such an excellent container plant, and also in the shade garden. I'll plant it directly in the ground. Here's one of my older ponytail palms, and it's sprouting babies off the bulb. And I was almost going to get rid of it because it's not growing from the top so good anymore. It used to cascade to the floor, and then I cut it off and it got babies on it. So I don't have the heart, like a lot of us, to throw a plant out. This is my jasmine, which does this every year. It'll drop leaves, but it'll acclimate, and then it'll start blooming for me in spring. That has to be repotted every year too. I root prune it. And this is another coralline I bought at the end of the year for $4. It's a variegated, kind of white and green with a little pink, and I'm going to use it in a container next year. And then a clivia. I've never grown them. Got it at a plant exchange, and I hope it blooms for me. It's only not even a year old for me. And then I have some bloodleaf cuttings that I did with my, let's see, I take cuttings and put them in a container, self-watering container. If you go to my website, it'll show you how I do it. So thank you for tuning in and checking out my